Okay, had my Refluxstop operation on the 22nd of June, which is about 10 days ago now. Things are going well, recovering. I'm still on soft-ish foods. Been eating mainly like spaghetti, scrambled eggs, mashed potato, Greek yogurt, all that stuff that's pretty mushy and soft. The swallowing difficulties have been pretty all right. Apart from today, I tried a bit of bread, and the bread with butter on, even though it was soft bread, it kind of didn't go down that well. So I had to drink water with it, and it kind of got stuck a bit. So that's obviously too soon. So I'm going to keep on the softer stuff until probably the weekend, I reckon. When you leave hospital, on the 22nd, sorry, the 23rd. I stayed overnight, came out the next day on the Tuesday afternoon. They give you this spirometer type thing to blow into, which you do 10 times every hour. And it's basically to keep your lung free of like secretions like mucus, and also to build your strength up with your diaphragm and your lung capacity. It's quite an interesting device actually. So basically you put your mouth around it and you just really go. And basically you do that for 10 times, like I say, every hour. I've not stuck to it every hour, but I've done it quite a few times each day. And I will say, so basically my symptoms before, and the reason why having Refluxstop, my symptoms were horrendously bad. LPR, laryngopharyngeal reflux, or also commonly known as silent reflux or respiratory reflux. So I wouldn't get the typical heartburn. I would get kind of like aspiration into my lungs and airways and sinuses. So I'd get constantly on and off a blocked nose, or get mucus or sputum in my throat and lungs, and I would throat clear constantly. It'd be bad at night. I'd get a hoarse voice in the morning, and I'm a singer as well. So that obviously affected me massively. And I had these symptoms yo-yoing on and off for years and years and years, as well as a bit of stomach bloating. So on the internet, I suddenly not suddenly, but I Googled it because the symptoms came back really in a bad way about 8 months ago. And in desperation, looked on the internet and came across a few people that had this Refluxstop procedure, which is a new procedure in the UK. It's been around for about 6-7 years. I think there's one study of 50 people, and I think 44 people where they surveyed them after 5 years. They were over 90% free of acid reflux. Okay, it's only a small study of people, 44 people, but it is quite a new thing where they kind of implant this little, kind of like a cylindrical, squarish device, silicon device, and they invaginate it into the top of the outer side of the top of your stomach, and then they suture it up, and it sits right next to the lower esophageal sphincter, and it also changes the angle of the sphincter slightly as well. I also had a small hiatal hernia done, as well as an umbilical hernia, which the umbilical hernia they had to do that anyway, because when you have five, because it was done keyhole, I've got 5 different portholes that they go in at basically, and one of the areas was the belly button. So yeah, had all that done as well. But so far so good. The pain on the first night was horrendous. Not the pain, the gas that I had on the first night was horrendous. Like, I was so sick I had so much gas, I felt so nauseous and weak, and that was worse than the pain. But the actual pain of it has not been too bad. Even swallowing, I've had hardly any swallowing difficulties, even straight after the operation. So yeah, it's been good. And I must admit, ever since the operation, my nasal passages have been super clear. I've had no blocked nose. I've still had mucus and kind of silent reflux symptoms in my throat and clearing it, but it turns out that I probably, having general anaesthetic and also having the intubation tube into your throat, down into your stomach or wherever it is, and obviously all the medication that can all relax the lower esophageal sphincter, and so you can naturally cause reflux symptoms. So I'm probably got an overhang of that. And with silent reflux, after Refluxstop, it can take several months for all the tissues in your throat and your lining to kind of calm down, basically. So, but I feel my breathing since I've had the operation has been super, super good. Feels really strong, feels clearer, apart from obviously still having the throat clearing and the mucus. Less anxiety with, I think it's because I'm feeling so positive about taking action for this debilitating thing I've had on and off for years. So, I feel for anyone who's had this. I really do, but hopefully this is a solution. In the UK, there's 2 hospitals that do it on the NHS. Okay, Southampton University and Imperial College London. I'm 70 miles away from London, so I got in contact with my doctor when I found out about Refluxstop, got them to refer me to London, which took a while, and then you have to have 3 tests to prove that you're actually a candidate to have Refluxstop. You have a 96-hour Bravo pill where they implant a Bravo capsule pill about 6 centimeters above your lower esophageal sphincter, and then you wear a monitoring device. So you wear that for 4 days. That's fitted by endoscopy, which is the standard sort of endoscopy. Then you have also a barium swallow, where you kind of swallow this chalky liquid, and they x-ray and watch the liquid go down, and that shows up things like large hiatal hernias, and also shows up how food is actually, how your esophagus is contracting. Okay, mine was ineffective. It wasn't horrendous, but it was ineffective, which is probably because of the refluxing for so many years. But incidentally, once you fix the reflux, the esophageal contractions should improve back to normal, which is great. And then the other test was, I had a It was a manometry, a swallow manometry. It wasn't a 24-hour MP. It was just a standard swallow manometry, where you kind of sit there on the side of a bed. They put this thin tube in your nose all the way back down into your stomach, into your esophagus, and then you have to lay back, and the nurse keeps giving you, or the practitioner keeps giving you sips of water, and you have to hold it, swallow, hold it, swallow, hold it, swallow, and it's about 20 minutes of doing this kind of thing. And that's to also monitor how effective your esophagus is in more detail than the barium swallow. So anyone who's got silent reflux, it's I feel for you, and sticking. I'm a healthy guy as well. I don't drink alcohol, don't smoke, don't do drugs. My diet is good. I'm 80 kilograms. I go to the gym. I'm someone who helps myself, but I think you need to help yourself. And give your body the best chance. So, if you're someone who's drinking pint after pint after pint, you're smoking, you don't train, you don't really watch what you eat, are you helping yourself? No, you're not. So I would try all of those things first before you actually resort to surgery. But I tried all those things. PPIs I tried a month out. Before the operation, I tried famotidine. I found famotidine, which is an H2 antagonist. It's a bit like ranitidine. Famotidine I found way better than PPIs. I used to take 20 milligrams in the morning, 20 milligrams before my evening meal, and then 40 milligrams before I went to bed. And at night, that definitely helped me. So I think in my situation, I was refluxing at night as well. So hence why I woke up in the morning with mucus and a chronic hoarse voice. So many times my voice has been terrible in the morning. So yeah, famotidine way better than PPIs. PPIs are bad for you anyway. so many people are on them, but they can cause osteoporosis. And if you're on them longer than 3 years, that's when they're going to start giving you problems later on with your bones and things like that. So but famotidine it reduces reflux instead of it reduces acid instead of what PPIs do, where I think they stop the acid full stop, whereas I think with famotidine it works slightly differently. Okay, so yeah, but I tried everything, and nothing seem to work. And anyone who's got silent reflux knows that it is horrendous. And then other things are born out of it. You get stressed, you get frustrated, you get anxious, obviously because of the breathing. When you're shortness of breath, because those are part of the symptoms that I had on and off. You might be all right for a day, and then all of a sudden you might have a month where you're terrible. Then you might be all right for 3 days, but then you're not good. It comes back. You never know when it's going to come back. So even when you're feeling good, you just know that this like monster is sitting around the corner waiting to kind of invaginate your kind of chest and throat and your sinuses. And it's, it took me to a place, where I just didn't want to be here anymore. Anyone who knows and suffers from it and has suffered from it for a long period of time will totally resonate with you. So yeah. So anyway, check Refluxstop out, and I'll do some more videos to update you on my recovery. Okay, bye.